Good morning, y'all. It's Marvelous Monday, and we are back with our real estate question of the week. This one comes from a first-time home buyer, Angela, and I am truly appreciating all these questions. I've got enough to last me for a couple of months that are coming in, so that's awesome. I'm glad that people are asking questions. It's very important that you ask questions during a real estate transaction, even before starting. Never feel like any question is stupid. I know that it can be very, very overwhelming, and I don't even at times understand some things, especially when it's coming from the mortgage end. So, please ask. If I don't know the answer, I will definitely find the answer for you. But anyways, back to this week's question. What is the difference between a due diligence period and pending? Well, when you find a home that you like and you put an offer in it, there is going to be a due diligence period time worked in, a date, I should say, worked into that contract to when you're negotiating back and forth with the seller. Generally, on average, when you are going with a lender, it is going to take 30 to 45 days for that transaction to close. So I personally, if I know it's going to take about 45 days to close, I try to get that contract negotiated to at least 30 days due diligence period. During a due diligence period, this is a time period for the buyer to secure their financing, to do any and all inspections that they would like to have done, that the lender may require. And yes, there are some inspections that the lender will require depending on the loan that you're using. FHA, VA, USDA, there are certain guidelines that have to be followed during that process. So during this due diligence period is when you're going to do all of those things. A seller may ask for not only earnest money to be deposited, but also due diligence monies to be deposited. And the due diligence monies goes directly to the seller. That is a check that is made out to the seller, and basically what it is saying, I am extremely interested in, my heart is in this transaction. I want this home. So this is money that is going straight to you. That is money that you do not get back if you cancel the contract. And yes, during the due diligence period, you have the option as a buyer to terminate that contract at any time during that period up till 5 p.m. of the date that you have set. So you want to make sure that everything is falling in line, that you've got your money secured, that your inspections are done in time, so that if anything comes back on the inspections, that you are able to negotiate with the seller any repairs that need to be done, or just go with it as it is. It can get into a lot of different steps. This is just kind of the gist of it, so please have it explained in more detail. It definitely has a lot more details to it. And yes, you can walk away during this time period, and sellers are always sitting on pins and needles during this time period because of it. That was something that was put into contract years ago to protect the buyer, but it can hurt the seller in the long run. So during the due diligence period, if you do terminate, like I said, you cannot get your due diligence monies back, but you can get your earnest money deposit back. That is in escrow. More and more real estate firms are getting to where that escrow is with the attorney, the closing attorney that you have chosen. Some real estate firms still keep it in their escrow, and it is delivered to the attorney at closing. So then you come up on pending. Pending is what occurs once the due diligence period has ended, and that shows that everything has been taken care of. Everything is set to go with your lender. the attorney has completed the title search and you are working towards your closing day. Closing disclosures are prepared. Your lender will get with you on your closing disclosure, go over everything on that. So that's kind of the difference. If a buyer chooses to terminate during pending period, there can be repercussions. You definitely are not going to get your earnest monies back, and there could be some other things that pop up. Breach of contract. Not saying that that is always the case, but it can happen. So you definitely want those two time periods explained to you in detail with your realtor, attorney, whoever you may be using. You want to take the time to sit down, go through those terms, make sure you understand everything about them. The dates, the due diligence date and the closing date, you want to make sure that those are lined up, that they are going to coincide with your lender, with your attorneys, with everybody. So I hope that this kind of helps give you the gist of those two. Like I said, there is a lot more details that needs to be gone into with those. So please ask. You can never ask enough. It's always so much better if you're prepared and you understand than to kind of have something just fall in your lap and you're freaking out because you don't understand why this is happening or what's going on. So I want everybody to have a marvelous Monday. We have beautiful Carolina blue skies today, and it's going to be a little bit warm, but I hope that you're able to smile and get through your day with a laugh or two. I'll talk to you next week. It's Diana Cooke with Thomason Realty Group. Bye.